Well, I've got a few things to show you today. One is that we've got this mounts, all the mounts done. That is the rear brake mount, and here is the front derailleur mount. See how that turned out? It turned out pretty good. I need to sand it still. And that is where the cable stops and goes up to the derailleur. So one of the questions I get a lot is because if you notice my seat post is just an airfoil that's been cut off. People always ask me, well, how are you going to put a post in there? Well, the answer is I'm not. I'm going to use what's called a seat clamp. So let me show you what I've got here. I haven't done the layup yet for the seat clamp, but I've taken that top part of the seat tube, and I've cut it off, and I've attached this this plywood to it, which is, I believe, 3/16. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a layup on this, so this will slide down over the top of the tube, the seat tube, and then we'll put a couple screws in here, or bolts, that'll pull that tightly against the seat tube. Okay, so I just pulled this off the mold, I guess, and you can see it looks pretty good, nice and shiny. I don't think I explained this before I did it, so let me do that now. Basically, I just took the clamp here and I laid it on this piece of glass. I put just this regular packaging tape on here, and then just put paste wax on it, that stuff, the min wax, and just wiped it on there. Laid the carbon and wetted it out on top. I think this went this way. And then put 2 pieces of peel ply on here, and then vacuum bagged it. And it came off real easy. I just used a popsicle stick or tongue depressor, stuck it under there and popped it off. Real easy. And what I'll do, like I was saying before, on the seat clamp, or on the seat post here, I'll create a clamp, and this will go like that. My arm's kind of in the way, and then the seat will clamp to it. Okay, so here's the seat clamp that we made, and I just pulled it out of the vacuum bag, pulled the pill ply off of it, and then let me show you how easy this comes off, if it does come off easy. Sometimes when you say stuff like that, it comes back to bite you. So I'm going to set the camera down here. So I just take my box cutter, get it underneath there, underneath the carbon, just kind of lift up on it. You can hear it popping off the plug here. I'm going to grab a popsicle stick or a tongue depressor. I'm going to try to get this underneath there. Okay, that side's done. Same thing on this other side. Don't have a cameraman today, sorry. Okay, I think we pretty well got it. There we go. You can see this now. It's just going to slide through there. Sweet, huh? It seems kind of flexible right now, but once we get our clamp on there, it'll be pretty strong. I'm hoping. Anyway, I'll cut this down and we'll see how it goes. So let me give you a recap of what I did today. Here's the seat clamp in its current form. We did some 5-minute epoxy there, and we cut out the rounded part. That there in the middle, that circle, I'll need to cut that out so I can move the seat clamp part, the other part of the seat clamp, you know, so I can tilt the seat up and down. I used this carbon flocks that I made. There's the cloth form, and then here's the wetted out in epoxy. And basically I just stuck it in the inside there. You can't see it, but you know, I just stuck it all around the edges on the inside, and then when it cures, I'll sand down all this 5-minute epoxy off. Then I also sanded down these parts, so now they look pretty nice. I also gave the bike another sand and another coat of epoxy. I don't know how many coats of epoxy this thing's going to take, but it's taken a lot so far. Basically I put a layer on, sanded off, try to get all the little holes out of it. It's getting smoother and smoother, but still seems there's a lot of work left on the finish. I still haven't put this part on, which is something I'll probably do after I've test ridden it a few times. So I suspect that tomorrow I'll be able to get this drilled and put a couple of screws in there, or bolts, to hold the clamp on. Then I'll put the seat on it. I'll route all the cabling. Got my cable holes here. Top, there's 1, 2, and then 3 down the other side, and then there's 2 down there. One of them will come. One of the cables will come up here and to the front derailleur. The other one will come down and go through the chainstay here and out, and that's for the rear derailleur. Show you one more thing. This is the rear brake caliper mount, and it came out pretty good. It's basically a piece of aluminum that I wrapped in carbon fiber, so it matched the rest of the bike. Okay, so I'll catch up with you guys tomorrow. Here's the seat clamp. You can see I got a washer in there, and this isn't really working as good as I had hoped. The clamp works okay on the bike. What I've got here is I've got a problem with the seat. See if I can get it to do it with one hand. Basically, it's pretty tight and the seat rotates. You can see I'm just pushing it and it's rotating on its own. And it does that when you're sitting on it. So I tried putting a piece of plumber tape in there, and that didn't work really. And so what I'm going to do is, I've got this stuff here. This is DevCon, and it's a steel putty epoxy. And I got this left over from when I pressure bedded a 1022 to make it a little more accurate, which one of these days I hope to document. Anyway, I'm going to mix this up, and this clamp has these little grooves on there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this off. I'm going to put the putty right in this space here. I'm going to put the clamp back down and tighten it up, and then hopefully it'll form to this clamp a little better. And when I want to change the pitch of the seat, I'll just loosen it, move it, and then tighten it back down. It'll look like a regular metal bike clamp part after I put this DevCon on. So I'll show it to you when it's done. It's been a few days since I last talked to you. Here's the C-clamp. It's pretty much finished. I just gotta install the hardware. The DevCon didn't work. Just a little too brittle. So I went ahead and scraped it all out, sanded it out, and put just regular carbon fiber cloth and then some strands. And then stuck the bracket back on there. And then sanded it and put a little clear coat on it. Bike's about finished, so I'll give you a look at that when it's ready to go.
Okay, it survived about 10 laps up and down the street, and we're gonna see how fast I can go.
I'll go fast on the way back.
Oh, okay.